Dealing with a know-it-all at work can be a pretty big challenge. It'll affect your team dynamics, your productivity, and even your own personal satisfaction with your job. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards. Understanding why some people have this know-it-all behavior and what you can do if you have to work with such a person or supervise a know-it-all. I've researched the difficult people you might find on the job. It's part of my course, Managing Difficult People. It'll help you navigate all different personalities on the job. I'll tell you more about that later. So, if you have someone who is always willing to give their opinion and makes it clear that they are the smartest person in the room, or at least they think so, there are some things you can do. Know it alls often dominate conversations by interrupting others. And one way that I deal with it is to preempt them. Start by saying something like, please hold any comments or questions until I'm done. In a less formal situation, say something like, interruptions break my concentration, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd let me finish my thoughts before you jump in. Now, if that person continues to interrupt, you should say something like, look, I'm going to finish my point, and then I'd love to hear what you have to say. No one else like to, make statements without having any evidence. When that happens, just ask them for sources or the data to back it up. Phrases like, I'm not sure we're working with the same assumptions and facts. Let's step back and take a look at the data before we proceed. That might be effective. This approach will encourage a more fact based discussion, less opinions, and it can help the know it all realize the limits of their knowledge. Maybe. There are a few things you can also try, but it also helps you if you get into the mind of the know it all. So, in all instances, if they're trying to prove something, consider whether the know it all's behavior is compensating for an underlying insecurity. If you validate their current contributions, that might reduce their need to constantly prove themselves. And maybe that will help ease their domineering tendencies. Is their confidence warranted? Evaluate if the know it all's confidence is based on their actual expertise and if their abrasive delivery masks valuable insights. I mean, I've known people who really knew their stuff, but they just had an abrupt way of talking about it. So acknowledge their contributions while addressing their behavior. That might work. Now, this is more inner-directed. Is bias influencing your perception? Reflect a bit on whether unconscious biases are affecting your perception of the know-it-all. Maybe it's your own bias that can color your view. And if you understand that, maybe you can approach the situation more objectively. Is their confidence just pushing your buttons? Again, time for some self reflection. Analyze whether your reaction is due to your own insecurities or values. Maybe you're just feeling threatened. Distinguishing between annoying behavior and actions that impede work can help you respond more effectively. Another good practice is to establish team norms, such as take space, make space, and encourage balanced participation in meetings. Sharing these norms at the beginning can help create a more equal environment where everyone feels that their input is being valued. If you manage or mentor the know it all, it's crucial to understand their behavior directly. Don't ignore it, because that'll just create a hostile environment for everyone else. Provide specific examples of how their behavior is impacting the team and suggest how they might change. Don't react in the heat of the moment. Reacting impulsively to a know it all's behavior can lead to unproductive confrontation. So take time to cool off and address the issue calmly and constructively. When discussing the know it all's behavior, remain calm and factual. Focus on specific instances of how they affected the team's work and avoid emotional responses that can just escalate the situation. There are so many different types of difficult people that we encounter on the job. The know it all is just one of them. Whether we work with the person or supervise such a person, it's helpful to understand what makes these folks tick and the strategies that you can use. I've been researching this, and I have more than 30 years of experience managing all different types of people. And I put it all into my online course, Managing Difficult People. Here's what one person had to say about the help that I gave her. She said, I felt alone dealing with the bully that I had to supervise. You gave great suggestions on how to deal with this person, who, knock on wood, has become more of a team player. Managing difficult people will give you the skills, ideas, and confidence for turning around the most challenging personnel situations. Get in the know. Managing Difficult People at daveedwardsmedia.com. Just click on courses. Do you recognize this person? What about this guy? Or her? Do they remind you of someone that you work with? Not everyone is easy to work with or manage. I've researched the best techniques for managing the most difficult workers and compared notes with top human resource specialists. I put it all into my online course, How to Manage Difficult People, and I've added a complete section on how to manage remote workers. Find out more at daveedwardsmedia.com and click on courses.